Hello, dear friends. This is Abramov News, and today on our program, and right behind me, is something that, honestly, stirs up tremendous emotions. These are exactly the moments when technology, history, and the human dream come together in a single object. And suddenly you realize, here it is, a dream you can keep at home right on your desk. Yes, the legendary MT001. That very giant that became a symbol of engineering boldness, a symbol of a country, and a symbol of an era. But wait, don't rush to close this video. This is not just a model kit. This is an official project created in collaboration between the Ukrainian startup MT001 and the state enterprise Antonov. A team that I personally have known for many years. These guys make models like Swiss watchmakers, with micron-level precision and respect for the history of each object. And here with me is their most emotional, most ambitious, and honestly, most beautiful work. There's laser cutting, turbines, parts, rhinestones. It's a fairy tale made of metal. Why do I call it a fairy tale? Because here, every detail is a real element from the actual Mriya. Anyone who has held a MT001 model in their hands knows they don't do anything halfway. The body is made of premium-grade stainless steel. Laser cutting, as precise as jewelry work. All the joints, rivets, and panels replicate the aerodynamic design of the famous giant. And inside there's a mechanical drive. And when you wind it up, the model... all 6 turbines start spinning just like on the real MT001. And at that moment, you catch yourself thinking, yes, this is a little engineering marvel, made by people for whom the Mriya is not just a plane, but a part of their heart. A special touch, decorative Swarovski crystals. Yes, this is a limited festive edition of the model. The crystals are carefully mounted by hand and create the impression that the plane is glowing from within with hope. Yes, forgive the metaphor, but there's really no other way to put it. Perhaps you've already seen that an exhibition dedicated to the MT001 recently opened in Munich. And in one of the videos you're seeing now, the legendary crew commander Dmitry Antonov introduces visitors to the exhibition. And here's what amazed me. Among the items on display is also a model from MT001. So these two engineering masterpieces, one huge and one miniature, stand side by side, to scale. And both Mriya models inspire the same sense of respect. For me, this is very symbolic. The model is not a toy, not a souvenir. It is part of a great story that people continue to share with the world. So what's inside this model? Let's be brief but to the point. High-quality stainless steel. No plastic, only metal, only precision. Laser cutting at a micro-manufacturing level. This is the same technology used in aerospace modeling. And you can really feel the engineering in your hands. Mechanical drive. All 6 turbines spin simultaneously. Let's be honest, even if you're 45, 55 or 65 years old, seeing a mini Mriya start up on your desk still brings out the excitement of a 10-year-old child. The premium crystal edition version. Yes, unfortunately we lost the MT001 aircraft, but this model reminds us of the light that the Mriya brought. That's exactly why this version features decorative crystals. Not flashy, not kitschy, but dignified and delicate. This is an official license from Antonov State Enterprise. This isn't just something that looks like the Mriya, this is the Mriya. Legally, historically, and in its construction. By the way, There's one thing I absolutely have to emphasize. You can buy this model in two versions. The first is a fully assembled Mriya, perfectly displayed, polished, and ready to take its place on a shelf in an office or in a home study. This is for those who want to get the result right away and enjoy the sight of the plane without lifting a finger. But there is a second option. And I'll be honest, it's for those who love not just the result but the process too, the journey. You can buy a real construction kit made from carefully laser-cut steel plates and assemble the Mriya with your own hands, with the full sense that you're not just the owner of the model, you're its creator. And this is where something appears that especially inspires me. You can assemble the model together with your child or teenager. And it's not just an activity for one evening. It's a story. You're both sitting at the table taking out a part from Italy. Together you figure out how the turbines work, why the landing gear is designed that way, and why the Mriya has such a wingspan. And at some point, the teenager asks, "Dad, why was there only one such plane in the world?" And you get the chance to tell them not just about aerodynamics, but about dreams. About what was created in Ukraine, what amazed the whole world, and why it's important to preserve the memory of great projects. I'm sure that assembling such a model together, it's a gift that will be remembered far more than any box bought ready-made. Although, of course, if you're short on time, the magic of an already assembled version is still there. But the very fact that you can build your own Mriya from ordinary steel plates? That's a really powerful metaphor. When your hands are busy, your mind starts to understand dreams. There are things we buy and forget, and there are things that stay with us. For some, it's a model, a symbol of Ukrainian aviation. For others, it's a part of personal memory, and for someone else, it's a gift that can't be mistaken for anything else. But most importantly, it's an object that serves as a reminder. A dream can be made of metal and weigh several hundred grams, and still fly, even if only on a shelf. And you know, every time I hold this model in my hands, I think about how much I'd like to one day see a second real Mriya, to see it take to the skies again. Not for records, not for hype, but to help people just like it used to. I know the guys from Metal Time personally. I know how they started, how they made their first copies in a small workshop, how they shipped their first orders to Europe, the US, and Asia, how they grew, and how each model became a little more complex than the last. And today, when they released the official premium Mriya model, now made in partnership with Antonov, it means only one thing: the Ukrainian School of Engineering is alive. And it continues to create. Together with Antonov, Metal Time supports programs for rebuilding aviation, including the restoration of the Antonov Tu-25 Mriya aircraft, training new pilots and aviation engineers, and restoring the homes of Antonov employees destroyed by the war. In the not-so-distant past, in 1988, the Antonov Aviation Company built the largest cargo plane in the world. The Tu-25 named Mriya and landed it at Hostomel Airport in Kiev, Ukraine. Its specifications were astonishing. It was 275 feet long, 288 feet wide, and 59 feet tall. To grasp just how enormous the Mriya was, imagine a 6-story building with 4 entrances. The Mriya weighed 350 tons, that's 700,000 pounds, and it could lift another 250 tons. That's 500,000 pounds. It was an absolute record. The Mriya was a beast. No other plane on Earth could come close to that kind of carrying capacity. For example, the Mriya could transport a herd of 42 elephants, or more than 1.8 million iPhones. Over the years, the Tu-25 carried giraffes, yachts, and parts of power plants, and other large items that other planes simply couldn't transport. The Mriya carried the very first Soviet shuttle called Buran, which made the longest flight. After a short flight into space, the Buran remained on Earth, but the Mriya kept flying. Such an astonishing feat of engineering was rarely seen on Earth. Every takeoff and landing of the Mriya became a spectacle, attracting the press and people from all over the world. One day, the Mriya will fly again. In the thick, clinging mud, There, in the desolate and forgotten village of Krasnaya Kolina, it was hanging down, suspended precariously. For some inexplicable and deeply rooted reason, a certain spiteful Ukraine, despite everything, is still profoundly afraid, harboring a persistent and unsettling dread. And we will certainly take this significant Krasnaya Kolina, and we will proudly lift it up. And we, our truly spirited Ukraine, we will, hey, stand up with great determination and rejoice with all our hearts. Once, in all its magnificent glory, Ukraine, a land truly blessed and so full of divine care. Once again, the vibrant red Kalina will blossom forth, stronger and more resilient than ever before, and Ukraine will undoubtedly shine with a brilliant new splendor and renewed hope. A brand new musical piece is now commencing, filling the air with its melodies and rhythms, signaling the start of an auditory experience. The valiant and determined Ukrainian nation. Language. If you feel the same way about Mriya as I do, if you want not just a souvenir, but something meaningful, if it's important to you to support those who preserve history and create something new, then the Metal Time model is exactly the case when your heart and hands say yes. All the links are in the description. Go check them out and make your choice. And write in the comments what Mriya means to you. An airplane? A symbol? A story? Or a dream that makes you lift your head up? Thank you for being with me today. This was Boris Abramov and Abramov News. Cherish your dreams. They are heavier than air, but they always strive for the sky. Well, in our program we always talk about what is happening right now, but hasn't been voiced yet in the news.